Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
What's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. We are here. We are alive. And it is a privilege to be here, isn't it? Tell the truth. I know you want to complain. I know you upset with somebody. I know the people on your job getting on your last nerve. I know it's a lot of unnecessary shit going on in the world, fake friends, fake relationships, all that. I'm there. I experience the same things that you do on a regular basis. The government is crappy. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing by the people. Social media is distorting and corrupting minds. It got us going up against each other. Men and women hate each other. All that. I get it. Trust me. I understand completely. It's Friday, man. I'm just grateful to be here. I don't give two shits about the hatred, the negativity, the trolling. I don't care about none of that. I'm still alive and breathing. I still got air in my lungs. I still got full function of my limbs. The enemy wants you to be defeated, wants you to focus on the negative aspects of life. The enemy wants you to be concerned and wants you to focus on the doubt and the fear and all that. I ain't doing that today. Not today. Especially right now. We got a show later. Open mic returning. I told you 8 o'clock. We locked in. That's the one place. The one place there's no drama. There's no drug talk. There's no gossiping. There's no he's better than this person. No. All of your worries, all your stresses are gone. You don't go to open mics to stress and be focused on who's starting shit, and it's none of that there. We're just gonna have a good time, vibe out, do some open mic, some spoken word, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna close out the week calm, relaxed. We're gonna set. We're going to get our mind right. Fuck all of this negativity. Fuck all of the people who are sitting up here, speaking negatively on your name. Forget all of them people who did you dirty. Forget all of them people who don't show you love and support. Forget all of them people who are trying to keep you boxed in. They don't want to see you fly. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you successful and free and flourishing. Forget about all of the transphobic comments and all. This is Friday. This is a day that the Lord made, and we are still here, traffic and all. Y'all know what I'm about to talk about, though. I am about to go in. I just want to get some stuff out of the way. Relax, get your ear. On this side of the internet, it's just talking shit. We just relax and we vibing. I ain't got no encyclopedia in front of me. I don't have Google search in front of me. I don't have a fancy ass layout in front of me. I just wanted to be. Do you have any thoughts, any feedback on anything in regards to straight? Share, please, because honestly, I'm just up to here with it completely. It's every day, it's every year, it's every week. I make posts and responses to things that are uploaded on social media, just giving my own opinion. And this is the one thing that I appreciate about YouTube, Facebook, all of that. Even though you got trolls and you got cyberbullies and you got a bunch of disrespectful, emotionally lacking adults using the spaces to just argue, opportunity to hold dialogue with some folks that might be a little more knowledgeable than you. You might come across a few people who got some common sense. You might come across some people who can really bring you into a certain focus that gets you thinking about things that are happening that might not be the way that you thought they were. And if you're humble enough, you might even make you a friend or a companion out of these people. You never really know what you can get on social media. The best thing that you can do is block the idiocy, remove them, report them, stop giving them a place to grow, harassing people with stupid shit that don't really contribute to the conversations. That's the best thing you can do. Instead of complaining or having all of this anger and unnecessary energy extended out to people who just want attention, you can ignore it. You can block it. You can do a million different things to keep your peace and keep your smile and your joy. I want to talk to adults. I want to have conversations with adults that can teach me something. And also I can just be myself and get my shit off the way that I want to get it off without any type of judgment, because I ain't right about everything and neither is the next person. That's why the art of conversation is and we need to continue to bring that back, and we need to honor it, and we need to celebrate it as much as possible. That being said, FSU Shooting leaves 2 dead, 5 injured. And the entire case is still being investigated. What I offer is my condolences. What I offer is my sympathies, human to human. I'm not a politician. I'm not a hip hop star. I ain't nobody special. I just have a heart and I give a shit. they shouldn't be mourning. Students' experiences are becoming traumatized more. Adults transitioning from adolescence don't know how to control or operate within the frame that is evolving the older they get, because or younger has not taught them properly how to deal with to deal with talebearers, to deal with liars, to deal with infidelity, to deal with emotionally retarded people who just don't know what the fuck they got going on. They just out here moving as reckless. The young man that is in custody of the police decided that he and holster a weapon that had been retired by his mother. His mother is a former cop. Ironic, right? I'm curious to the people that's watching, and I want to know if it's just me, right? How do you feel about senseless violence, senseless death? We're not talking about cheating. We're not talking about your man. If he's interested in you, he's going to. I'm not talking about dating and marriage and all that shit. We're talking about a human life being taken away from them. It's permanent. Finito. They can't come back. They can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. This is a human being who was once a baby. They got baby pictures, baby teeth, their first walks, their first speech. No longer here. Recklessness of another human being. How do you feel about that? How do you feel knowing that it's not directly our responsibility? It does kind of fall on us too. For every death, it kind of falls on us in some type of way. His mother was a former police officer. You would think that his upbringing was strict as fuck. When Family Matters was on air, and I know it's a TV show, don't come for me, but when Family Matters was on air, Carl Winslow, whether or not you respect him for what he does off camera or not, on screen, the way that they look like that was a strong family. He was a representation of Black men. Harriet was a exceptional Black woman, a supporter, strong Black woman. She loved him. She catered to him. I looked at that, and I always would assume or associate the way that he practiced his morals and he executed them. I always pictured that's how most households in real life would. And I mean, I'm young shit. A lot of y'all are 80 babies. Some of you are probably a little younger or a little older. That's how I used to look at it. I thought every household had a Carl Winslow, whether you were Black or white. I just did. Until I realized that wasn't the truth. They robbed me of my innocence. That these TV shows, they robbed me of my innocence. Because when I would look at shit like that, I would always end up going to school and seeing an entirely different environment. And that shit is confusing. All of you know what I'm talking about. All of you have had your favorite TV show growing up. All of you have. It might not have been Family Matters. It could have been Full House. It could have been fucking Punky Brewster. Shit, it could have been Cat in the Hat. I don't know. Everybody had something that they grasped onto when they were a child, and you wanted to hold on to your childhood for as long as you could. Just don't sit up here and act too old to admit that you wanted to be a kid. I want to relive my 90s, my early 80s, my late 80s. I want to go back to No Diggity, No Doubt. I want to go back to Black Street. I want to go back to En Vogue. I want to go back to before she was living in her car. Monica, Brandy. I want to go back to that. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because all of this shit got introduced to us. I'm going outside thinking shit to be Carl Winslow. But you look at 2025, don't nobody fuck with police. Don't nobody respect police. I'm looking at Carl Winslow like, that's who I want to protect my neighborhood. That's who I want to be in my house. I'm looking at Harry Winslow. I'm looking at all that shit like, this is what I want. Until you go outside and you go to school. And kids are 8, 9, 10 years old. They know about titties and sex and blowjobs and all type of shit. You ain't even 10 years old. You go outside. The police don't look nothing like Carl Winslow. You know what they look like? They look like niggas who want to beat the shit out of you just because they have the power to do it. Because you're in a situational environment. You're either going to be the authority or the drug dealers are going to run all over you. You can't be soft in a neighborhood where you got killers roaming free and you got drug dealers roaming free and you got crackheads walking up and down the street freely. You can't be a soft-ass police officer in these type of situations. You're either going to adapt to it or you ain't built for it. I didn't see Carl Winslow's going by the book. Entirely different roles. Everything was switched. Steve Urkel. The Steve Urkels that I saw in school, though, that was pretty spot on. That was very accurate. Very accurate. They depicted Steve Urkel the same way that they depict these children now. And it's sad. It's disappointing to me. Because when I was growing up, I always looked at these shows because they were so wholesome. They were so like genuine. You didn't get violent watching none of that shit. You wasn't thinking about your aunt. You wasn't thinking about premarital sex. You wasn't thinking about infidelity and competing with or competing. It wasn't like that. It was so heartwarming. So just you wanted to stay there. And I think about that shit every single day, and I wish I could rewind it and go back, and I know I can't. It angers me so bad that everything that they put on that screen was just a facade. And either you adjusted to what was happening out here, or you got stuck in La La Land and you had a hard way growing up. Nobody stops it. Nobody addresses it. Every single woman and man on social media, I want to say this to you, especially to the ones who are more articulate, and your studies are a reflection of your intellect on the story or on any history that you speak on. I want to shout you out. Salutes to you. I thank you. I appreciate you. If no one else says it, I'm going to say it today. I thank you for standing in the gap, because we ignore you. We don't want to hear your woke speeches. None of us want to listen to it. None of us care about it. All we care about is getting our hair done, our nails done, who we gonna fucking suck later on, getting rid of our kids. That's all we care about. You don't care about the mental well-being of your children, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins. You don't talk to your family. You don't have no soul whatsoever. The little bit of soul you got left, you're clinging to it. You're clinging to it by a thread because you're angry at the world for the way that you ended up, destroyed and altered your body. You don't trust nobody. Nobody's equal to you. Everybody is a opposition to you. You got to get them before they get you. Talking doesn't do nothing. Violence is the only answer. You celebrate and you praise the villain over the victim. None of this makes sense. They lied to us. They groomed us through television and the internet. Now we have another story of more bodies getting piled up by the year and by the day. Nobody seems to. So my question is, what's keeping us from doing something or making a stand or changing any of it? Clearly there's something going on in the minds of these adults and these kids where they crashing out and they constantly going into the school or wherever, taking people's lives. And clearly there's something spiritually, emotionally, and mentally off for people to be so desperate and so volatile that they don't have no other way out. But you want to criticize and critique, and you want to try to dismantle the arguments of folks that have passion and concern for the victims, the suicides, the unnecessary pregnancies, the inappropriate touching. You want to pick the side. Who is more right and who is more wrong? I had somebody arguing with me under a post I spoke on to someone else. Her name is something Mills, Dr. Mills. She didn't even reply. She was saying that we need reparations. That may be true, but let's put it in perspective. Did we plow the fields? Did we get hung? Did we get burnt at the stake? Were they inappropriately having intercourse with us? Were they raping us? Was this stuff happening to us? That happened to our family. That happened to our predecessors. That didn't happen to us. But let's do it like this. For us to get any type of reparation for what was done to our lineage, our legacies in general, we're not making a great case for it now. We're not making a great argument for any of it because we're doing the job that they were doing every day. Somebody wanted to argue with me. I'm not about. It's just my opinion. How the fuck you gonna ask for something, but then in the same breath you are still? How are you killing your own race, but want them to cover the charges in the bill that was footed against our predecessors, our ancestors? So let's say, I know it's a little off topic, but let's say we did get that money. Where is it going to go? Where's the money going to go? Right back into the street, right back into the drugs, right back into paying for BBLs and all types of ratchet shit. The money ain't going to go nowhere that it should go. I ain't might not really register to you because I'm looking at this from a different perspective. In your case might be something else. I'm just trying to figure out, all right, well, where's the money going to go? SM, I'm not saying, look, there are black men and black women who work legitimate jobs. They honor, we slip and stumble. I'm not talking about them. I know they're going to do right with it. That's a gimme. That's a gimme. We know that off the rip. I'm talking about the niggas walking up and down the street. They care more about their new strand of marijuana. They care about who they gonna fuck the next day. They only care about parlays and goofy shit like that. I'm talking about them, the ones flashing their guns on social media, the ones shooting up houses and homes and burying bodies in abandoned houses and reenacting fucking HBO specials and shit like that. I'm talking about them. What you think they're gonna do with the money? Do you know? I just saw a story that the U.S. Allegedly caught somebody trying to smuggle over, I believe it was $200 million worth of drugs into the U.S. I already got in my head that they're part of this shit anyway. I'm not dumb. They absolutely are in on the drug trading. They are definitely a part of this shit still going back and forth. Nobody is dumb. Humans are greedy. They are selfish. They are prideful. They are arrogant. The ones that's on top, they want to stay on top. The ones that are at the bottom trying to get to the top, they're getting held down. The ones at the bottom with you that see you trying to climb, they're either rooting for you or they're accessories to we like, come on. We know what's up. So my thing is, are any new communities going to get built? Are we going to create more programs for broken homes? Are we going to get some of these idle-minded people off the street, get them into things that they can refocus their attention? Probably not. I know I went way off. I'm trying to rationalize or understand how we keep having these school shootings. Clearly, there's a disconnect somewhere. You have a blessing. There's clearly something I'm missing. You ain't gotta agree with me on everything. You ain't even gotta should agree on is that this shit is not right. I'm tired of death. I'm tired of seeing and hearing about death. It's inevitable. I'm talking about the shit that we can prevent, but we don't do it because we just don't seem to have enough investment into wanting to see anything accomplished to have it accomplished. So it just plays out as it does, and we just go on about our day. Oh, summer is here. It's getting warmer outside. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Meanwhile, the government is still screwing us over, pimping us out. We're not getting paid fairly. We're not getting treated fairly and equally. People are walking around here without getting proper medical attention. They're not getting the type of help with therapy that they should be. Folks are crashing out, man. People are depressed. They're lonely. They're empty. They're not fulfilled in certain areas, and they're taking it out on the wrong people. And the ones that become victims of it may or may not have been participants in increasing the odds of violence. Either way, it never should come down to this. I should not have turned on YouTube or went to Twitter X and seen a story about somebody getting killed on a campus. The mother is a former officer. How does she not see the signs? How do you not know your children? How does this escape your eye? Now, it's pretty obvious that you can't catch everything. But I've noticed the lack of communication in the house. You get home, and you can go to your cell phone. You can go home, you get on your computer. You go home, you turn the TV on Netflix. You go home, you don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to ask how the day was. Oh, you don't want nobody in your business. You don't want nobody to know that you're miserable, that you're happy, that you're celebrating anything. You don't want them to know this. You don't want them to know that. Nobody is talking anymore. The only way you know how to communicate is through this. That's it. And even then, you can't get the full experience. You'll never get the full experience of the emotions that come from the tone and pitch of somebody's voice. Go talk to your father, your mother, your uncles, your aunties. Go heal. Go make pettiness that you're harboring. And if you can't make peace with it, make peace with it because you got to make peace with it for yourself. But for the love of God, can y'all heal? Please heal. Go pray. Go talk to someone. Even if you don't want to talk to the person that could help you the most, go talk to somebody that got some y'all out here hurting. Y'all out here hurting. You're taking your advice from the wrong people, and they're getting you in. They're telling you to go out here and be a hoe. And they out here telling you to buy a gun and go kill the person who offended you. They're out here telling you it's okay to be a fucking idiot in a store, in a restaurant. They're out here telling you it's okay to be a spoiled brat. They're out here telling you it's okay to harass and troll people. They're telling you it's okay to support everyone else but your own. Fucked my childhood up. I wanted to be a fucking Power Ranger for sakes. Shit. Zach specifically. Zach, that nigga could dance. And who don't love a fucking superhero? The Power Rangers was the shit. I don't care what nobody say. The Power Rangers was the shit. They fought against the real enemies. They fought against crime. Teen Ninja Turtles, fucking Rescue Rangers, all that shit. I don't care. Take me back to that time. I want that. We need that. I don't need to be no fucking gangster. I don't want to be. I don't want to be no street dude. I ain't trying to prove that I'm tougher than anyone. I don't care about none of that. Because all of them niggas is in jail or dead or will be at some point eventually. I ain't tough enough to buy. I do buy. Avoid conflict. Okay. Bye. We fall for this same trap over and over and over again. Y'all laugh and clown the person who turns his head toward and wants to go in a completely different direction. You laugh at him. You celebrate, pour drinks, and twerk and dance on corpses before they get lowered into the casket. Y'all sit up here and dress them in fucking music video wardrobe before they go to the grave, as if that shit right there is proper and is honorable. You should have been celebrating them when they were alive. This young man has ruined his life, just like a lot of other ones have ruined their life. And why? What happened? Only further details will explain, but so much. He just ruined his life. He just ruined the families of other people's life. I don't hate anyone, but I have a strong dislike towards a lot of humans. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't find shit funny or amusing about bullying and harassing a soul. I don't find nothing amusing about Cardi B having sex with somebody while she's pregnant that's not her husband. I don't find nothing honorable about that. I don't find nothing attractive about it. When a parent sacrifices their life and they bust their ass to send you off to school to get an education, they're not kissing their boss's ass and working all of them fucking hours to send you to school so they can get a phone call back saying, oh, somebody bullied my kid or somebody harassed and hazed him too hard. Now he's dead. Remember, we did a show about this a few weeks ago. They killed the fucking 19-year-old black boy. He was trying to get into a fraternity and they punched him too hard in his fucking chest, and he's no longer here because he wanted to fit in with the fucking school. He wanted to be a part of something. Ain't nothing funny about that. Ain't nothing sexy, manly about any of that shit. But y'all be making this shit to be something. That's why I don't like a lot of y'all humans, man. Because y'all mind is wired to destruction. Your tunnel vision is on doing the most ridiculous, and heaven forbid anybody don't approve or want to be a part of it. Y'all come and turn on us like we the problem. Right. Okay. Go talk to the victims that lost their life, or go talk to the families of the students or whoever was injured. Go talk to them and ask them if this is funny, and then come back to me later. This man went through something, was going through something, and nobody seemed to knew or have a solution on how to prevent the potential threat. There's people right now that's their wire is this short, and they ready to go off at any given moment. It's at the point to where if you're not praying, you need to. Real spill. If not praying right now or after the stream, go pray. Go thank God or whoever you go to. Thank him that one of these knuckleheads, that one of these jealous ass men or one of these bitter women didn't get the green light to execute what the devil wanted. God right now that you didn't car accident. Thank God, right before your shit was about to get cut off. Thank God that you got some common sense and you're not sleeping with the same people over and over and again. That you finally learned your lesson, that you escaped that matrix. When is enough enough? When is enough enough? I told you, I don't do statistics. I don't do the numbers. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Anna. Those are the number guys and girls. Those are the ones that do this all of that. It just comes from the heart with me. I'm not okay with this. I'll never be okay with it. I'm not okay with a lot of the stuff that I see, but it's just little old me, and I'm just a part in the wind talking up here. As much shit as I speak on up here, you would think more people would understand where I'm coming from. Which only goes to prove that the algorithm only caters to drama, and it reveals the nature of people and their attention spans and things that it is what it is. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. I left work today indecisive about some decisions that I want to make. And then I got here, got confirmation, or I kind of got a little irritated by the ignorance that was outside of my doorstep. It fired me up and made me want to get up here. I'm getting all this out now because later on the stream, we just gonna kick back and laugh. I'm not doing this right now. Later is poetry. We just vibing and chilling, and yeah, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'm gonna do another update later on the Carmelo case, and if I get anything else, I'm gonna speak again. I'm gonna share my thoughts. A lot of you are following me on Twitter. A lot of you are keeping up with me. I appreciate you. Some of you are probably new over here. If that's the case, do me a solid. Down below, my email, my TikTok, all of my contacts, topics. You want to join a panel? If you have any questions for my panel, leave them there. If you want to repost, share these streams, let people know that I'm here, that there is diversity on social media, that everything is not about a targeted argument or, and make sure that you tap in with me on YouTube too, because I love to read the comments. I love to highlight them and engage with the people. Outside of that, later on, we back 8 o'clock. Tap in with me if you are around. I will see you through, decompress, and really just count my blessings, man. Should be stressful, bro. Should be stressful. My fucking driver, man. I was going to give his ass a 1. You do the Ubers and give his ass a 1. You tell the driver where to go because you want them to take the quickest route to your destination. They don't never want to listen. They want to follow the freaking GPS, and the GPS is garbage. It be taking you all around the world. I was pissed. I'm stuck in. I wanted to do that, and then something said no. Give them grace. So I'm not going to do it. I was really going to. As soon as I got out the car, immediately one. I don't like drivers who don't listen. I find it to be rude and like, nah, I'm cool on that shit. But I let it go, man. He went over a speed hump, and it was like, it was at that moment I had to, I think for whatever reason, the Holy Spirit or something, Jesus came and spoke to me for just a brief second and was like, man, as much grace as I give you for all the stupidness you do, give this man some grace. Not to mention he apologized too. So it was like I was gonna feel real bad giving him a horrible rating. And he just doing his job. He apologized too on top of that. Most drivers don't even say nothing to you. It's like, fuck you. Those the ones I don't have no sympathy for. But he apologized. So it was like, all right, man. I got you, bro. I'm gonna still give you a 5. Because I gotta respect that. And it humbled me, man. Our tempers and things that trigger us, it'll make us react irrational as hell. And I surely was about to, so I just thought I'd throw that in there because somebody right now might be feeling how I am. It might not be over this, but you might be in a situation where you might want to react to something before you should. Slow down, take a breath. It ain't that serious. Most of this shit is never that deep at all. But I'm out, man. Y'all be easy. I'll see y'all later on. Your digs.